Game of the day. Zootriot versus Not Your Next Opponent. Jake versus Lash.
Welcome back to the channel, folks. Sammy Original Guy here, aka Mr. Cannon from Advanced Wars by Web, bringing you another live league game of the day. Today, folks, we got ourselves a game on a map called Spurs from the Discord map contest. We have ourselves some players here today, folks. We have Not Your Next Opponent versus zootriot. Gonna be a great one here, folks. We got some high funds action. We got Jake versus Lash on this one, folks, and I have actually not seen a map or a match played on this map before. No idea what's gonna happen. No idea what the purpose of this map is. All I know is we got a strong side versus a weak side, folks. So if we take a look at the map, we have a theoretical strong side over here. We have a theoretical strong side over here. We have a theoretical weak side right here. And we have a theoretical weak side right here. Now, we do have access to an airport on either side right here. And I think the airport is going to be extremely important here, folks, because you can bust out the absolute monster of Advanced Wars by Web, the transport copter. And you can funnel some infantry over here to the middle island, where you are going to get a whole lot of funds, folks. Now, in addition to that, you could capture the port over here, get yourself a black boat and or lander, and ferry units over here also, and drop them off here or here. Now, it would be obviously more better to park it right here, so you can put units right there and put units right here, so that you can actually use your vehicle units. So I guess you can move over here, so it really doesn't matter where you land them, as long as you land them on the beach, folks. That is the most important thing. But in addition to that, folks, you know, we got a port on either side, so either side will be able to assault the middle island here. But this is going to be a partially heavy naval map and also a heavy air map. Now, there's obviously going to be some ground units here, folks. This is high funds. This tends to get a little bit stinky in the units, so I'm sure that we are going to be seeing some diversity in our unit composition. So that's what we got here today, folks. We got ourselves an interesting map. Not sure exactly how it's going to play out, but this one was submitted to me by one of these two players. So we're going to have a good one here today, folks. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see what went down in the live league today. On the first few days, folks, you all know the deal is the standard infantry builds, because you got to get the infantry on the field, folks. It's the #1 priority in Advanced Wars by Web. #2 priority in Advanced Wars by Web. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for all that hot live league action. All right. So, in all reality, I don't really know what should really occur in this map. You know, obviously, there's a lot of places that you need to go on this map, folks. There's definitely a lot of places. I think probably priority #1 here is, yeah, get the black boat on the field. You don't want to let your opponent get access to the island before you do. So both players are busting out the black boats in order to ferry some infantry, folks. Zootriot going for the old double launch over here. It's gonna make it so Not Your Next Opponent is gonna also have to do the double launch, otherwise he's going to lose. He's going to lose the island if he doesn't double launch. So definitely going to be seeing a double launch here. Yep, there we go. Double launch it. Double drop. There we go, folks. All right. So we got ourselves a very interesting scenario here between Lash versus Jake. So obviously Lash has a better day-to-day ability than Jake. She's got Jake's day-to-day ability, but with extra steps. And by extra steps, I mean just extra firepower per terrain star. So it will be kind of difficult for Jake to kind of stay in the day-to-day game. Oh my god, what is this? Oh, zootriot busts out the second black boat, and then flippin' takes control of the island. That's a bombshell of a move right there, folks. Would you just look at it? When you just look at it, look at that. So it's like, even if Not Your Next Opponent goes and attacks the infantry, He's just going to lose the infantry. Like, what do you do in this situation, folks? And we have an anti-air pushed so far forward over here from zootriot. Ooh, maybe a little bit too far forward if you ask me, but I mean, you never know. You never know, folks. I mean, it's technically uncontested right now. The tank can easily, or the anti-air can easily run away from the tank, but we also have an engagement down here over here from Not Your Next Opponent taking a strike on the infantry, which is going to result in the shot from a artillery. So very curious strike indeed, folks, but this is high funds, folks. And the one thing about high funds is you can buy a lot of units. So you know what? It's not necessarily a terrible thing when your units take a few hits. Oh my god. zootriot parks the anti-air onto the HQ and busts out the classiest unit in Advanced Wars. Alright, folks. Alright, now we're gaming. Now we are gaming over here, folks. Look at this. Like, what is going on here? Funny thing is this is actually not really too bad. I probably, maybe would have been, I don't even know. It probably wouldn't have even been better just sitting here. Sitting here, it definitely blocks the airport, stops next to your not opponent from being able to build any air units. So, I mean, this is kind of interesting. So let's see what Not Your Next Opponent decides to do in response to this, folks. Oh, he's attacking the pipe seam, interrupting one of the captures down south, or in the center. He's going to get recon into the middle of the map, folks. Oh my god. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. We got flipping recon gaming over here, folks. That is going to put an end to most of the infantry there, but it still will be kind of difficult in order for that recon to hold out long term into the center, even with just infantry there. And the addition of this mech, which is going to come just rocketing into the battlefield, into the center. Holy moly, does that actually escape? Oh my god, and it escapes. That is a free capture, folks. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Alright. So zootriot, because he's gone so far into the center of the map here in order to take control of that middle island, he's actually sort of neglected some of the properties on the side, on the on the western front over here. So he hasn't gotten the airport or anything. Not Your Next Opponent also has his tank parked firmly on the HQ. This is absolutely wild, folks. Absolutely wild. Alrighty, I'm totally invested right now. We got an interrupt with the anti-air, and the artillery is forward. Alright, like, I don't even know. I don't even know what's going on here, man. I don't know. But one thing I do know is this tank does have a shot on this tank right here, and a safe location from the artillery. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with that one, but alright, got a double tap up north. 2 more properties being captured. That is 30,000 income per turn over here from Not Your Next Opponent. zootriot trailing a little bit. It's only 26,000, but is going to be able to take control of the center here. That is a whole lot of properties that are going to be available to him. Oh, sacrifices the recon. Not Your Next Opponent sacrifices the recon in order to stop the progression of infantry in the middle, but now there is something even more dangerous waiting in the depths, folks. There is an anti-air. It has been purchased and it is able to be loaded in to a lander and be dropped in the center of the map. If that anti-air gets to the center of the map, folks, I can guarantee you that those infantry are not going to be having a good time. They're not going to be having a good time at all, folks. And there is absolutely almost no counter to it right now because zootriot doesn't have the airport. He doesn't have the airport, folks. And without the airport, you can't really get a bomber into the center of the map there. So might need to bust out a lander. Might need to bust out like a classy boy, get in the middle, bust out a tank, something. Got to get something in the middle, folks. Could go double mech. You know, that's also an option. But the HQ is under some serious threat here, folks. Some serious threat. And something needs to be done about it. zootriot definitely needs to invest a little bit over here into defending the HQ, because these guys are going to be rolling up and they are going to be doing that carnage, folks. But in the meantime, let's see the Macho Mech Randy Savage go ahead and absolutely obliterate that recon. One-shot him out of existence. And now we got a property being capped. Got a little heal going, and the classiest unit in Advanced Wars takes a shot and a capture. Okay. Strong front over there, folks. I like it. I like the way it's looking right now. Not too bad. zootriot, You know, at this point, maybe his plan is to just full send the HQ, you know, just send every single unit he's got over there just straight to the HQ and cause as much absolute carnage as he can. 4 spies over there, you know, could definitely be a thing. But that's also a thing, folks. That is also a thing. A tank has struck another tank, and it was on an HQ. But because of the defense, it survives with 1 HP. So he doesn't really have to worry about it too much. It's going to heal back to 3 next turn. Lander infantry drop over here. Oh my god, and a battlecopter coming to the center of the map right now. Absolutely menacing. Absolutely menacing. And a bomber! Ah, the classiest unit of the sky here, folks. Classiest unit of the sky, alright. That's going to be very dangerous for our old classy friend on the ground there, but we'll see what happens here. Eliminates another infantry. Going to be dropping... Ooh, going to be dropping an artillery and an anti-air into the center of the map. Very interesting. Saves the mech with a good old-fashioned black bow drop. Not too shabby, not too shabby at all. Actually, you know what? There is one thing that is really nice here, and it's kind of nice that a artillery could sit right here or right here and be able to block the HQ from being capped. So, nice foresight. Nice foresight there. It's an interesting map, folks. It's an interesting map. Oh, this covers, right? Yeah, okay. Okay. All right. Oh, zootriot. He busts out the soiled abomination, folks. The soiled abomination is on the field. Not your next opponent is in a scary position right now. He's in an absolutely terrifying position. Oh my god, and busts out a classy boy. There we go. I really hope the zootriot moves the 7 HP infantry and puts the artillery there. That really needs to happen because there is some possibility. Albeit slim, but there is some possibility. Then HQ cap might happen and could happen. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Alright, there we go. Yeah, HQ cap is off the table, folks. That is not going to be happening at all here. Not your next opponent is not going to be able to get that HQ. It's impossible. It's not going to happen. You might as well pull back right now. Pull back. The stench is too great over there, folks. The stench is too great. He needs the classy boy of the sky in order to deal with that. But oh my god, he is attacking. He is attacking. He has destroyed the line. Oh my god, is the bomber in position to attack the classiest unit in Advance Wars right now? Is he going to do it? Oh, he doesn't do it. He doesn't do it. He doesn't full commit. Doesn't full commit, folks. Only partial commitment over here. Well, this is almost a full commitment. But if the bomber went in and took out this guy, that would have been pretty funny. But, you know, obviously there's an anti-air right there. So it would only be funny in the sense that, I'm dying kind of funny. You know, not like a funny I'm winning kind of thing. I guess it could be possibly a winning move. I don't know. You know, it's debatable, folks. It's debatable. With the second bomber over there, I mean, you never know. You never know what's going to happen. Got an infantry sacrifice over here. Another infantry attacking. And we got the anti-air engagement. Alrighty, folks. So, oh, terrain tactics. Okay. Alrighty, let's... Oh, what's going to happen with the terrain tactics? What is the purpose? Oh, wait. Hold the flippity-floppity phone here, folks. Is that perfect movement right there? Oh, that's per 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a bomber. It's a bomber that might be struck down right here, folks. Okay, this is... Oh, he doesn't go for the bomber. Ah, okay. All right, and I thought maybe he was planning on going for the bomber. I don't think it's actually a full KO, which is definitely a problem. I think it does like 80% damage. But I'm very curious now. Like, how much damage are we doing here? 90 to 99% damage. Doesn't get it, though. Doesn't get it. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate, folks. All right, sorry. Getting a little bit loud here, folks. I'm going to try to keep it down, keep my levels down a little bit, because I'm getting just a little bit too excited with this one. All right, day 12, folks. Day 12. Super co-power, folks. We got the Blackrock. Jake Super co-power. What a cringy character Jake is, folks. But he's a character nonetheless. All right, very curious, very curious. All right, double. All right, okay. That doesn't, oh, interesting. Okay. You know what? You know what? We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Oh, and the classiest unit in Advance Wars attacks the Neo tank. Oh my god. And it was a terrain tactics boosted Neo tank, which it only means that it's basically the equivalent to sitting on a city right now. And Jake's is the equivalent of sitting on the plains. Well, technically a forest, I guess, but he's on plains, which he does get the firepower bonus from. Going for the comm tower now. Oh, that's the other interesting thing about this is nobody had a comm tower yet. Yeah, so comm towers probably would have helped out with quite a few of those rolls. Those rolls indeed. If zootriot actually had the comm tower, that would have been a guaranteed KO on that bomber. But now, not your next opponent is just spamming out the bombers like they're cheap meat made in a factory right here. Boom! Another infantry strike by the anti-air. zootriot still in control of the center of the map here, folks. Definitely going to be getting another property here. Unless infantry sacrifices are a thing, which they definitely could be. And the Neo tank strikes our favorite classy boy, taking him all the way down to 1. That man's going to have to run away. He's not going to be able to contend with the stench down south right now. As zootriot continues the attack. Is forced to just anti-air spam right now. He needs anti-air spam, and he busts out a solar abomination. There are just too many bombers on this map, folks. It is going to be very difficult for zootriot to contend with that. But at the same time, not your next opponent. I don't really know. I don't really know if he wants to be sending in 2 bombers to attack right now when there's anti-airs. Might be dangerous, folks. I don't know. We'll see. All right, we got the sacrifice, so we're going to be stopping that that capture. Oh my god, and not your next opponent just like doubles down. He is continuing the assault down south, but he busts out a solar abomination, folks. So unfortunately, he has gotten a little bit stinky. Like I do say, folks, you know, I'm not really a huge fan of the solar abomination. But if you're going to be building them, make sure that you invest in some high quality soap in order to wash that stink away, folks. All right. Not your next opponent is out of time, and it's day 13. Day 13, and we are out of time, folks. Definitely got to be managing that time a lot better. Unfortunately, if it's day 13, you're out of time, well, that's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate indeed. It's going to be very difficult to keep up the pace at this point, but we'll see. You know what? Maybe he's got a good enough foothold here that he doesn't even need time. But when you're staring down 6 anti-airs, 2 classy medium tanks, couple injured infantry, 1 fresh infantry, and 1 guy trying to cap one of your cities, puts a little bit of pressure on you, folks. It does put a little bit of pressure on you. It's like, how do you attack into the? How do you get to the anti-airs? Is it worth it to keep spamming the classiest unit of the sky? I don't know. We'll find out. We will find out, folks, because it is only day 14, and zootriot has 4 minutes and 11 seconds on the clock. Not your next opponent has 2 minutes on the dot. 2 minutes on the dot, 20 properties, 40,000 K per turn, 183,200 value, 29 units to 200,000 value flat from zootriot. How do we get these numbers, folks? How is it just so perfect? I will never know. I'll never know, folks, but oh my god, as soon as anything is attacked, it's going to ruin the perfect 200,000 unit value. And I think that itself is the real crime here. That is the real war crime. So, terrible. Absolutely terrible. At least it takes it down by a clean, like, 1,000. So, you know, it's not, like, the worst thing, but oh my god. I mean, isn't it the worst thing? It could be the worst thing. I don't know. I don't know, folks. Battlecopter being super brave. Oh my god, and the bombers. The bombers! Not your next opponent has so many bombers. He even puts one of his bombers right beside a black boat in order to get a heal too. So I will say, the zootriot is doing a phenomenal job right now. Phenomenal job. Holding in. Holding out in a match where he's down by this much. I've been in the situation where I've had 34,000 income versus 40,000 or even 42 or 44,000. I will tell you, folks, it is not easy. It is something that really make or breaks a person. It's like, do you resign and you just save yourself the trouble, or do you just struggle on and hope that you can capture those properties and even it out later on through sheer will, grit, and determination? That is what it's all about, folks. zootriot is a man of determination. He's a man of skill. He will not give up just because he is down by a couple properties. Oh no. No, it will take a lot more to finish off zootriot, who actually right now I believe is in like the top like I think it's like the top 5, might even be number 2, might even be number 3, like top 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 when it comes to overall wins on the live ladder, which is very awesome. It's a very good accomplishment. Definitely a lot of games played, so you got to give that man props. So let's see what we got going on here, folks. All right, boom, 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 boom. Shoyald abomination. Solid one's moving, folks. Just eliminating things one thing at a time. Safe lander. Okay. Still gonna be difficult. Gonna be difficult to fight into that. That's not really the easiest thing, folks. A beatdown. A beatdown. What? Why a beatdown? Very curious beatdown, folks. I mean, there's really only like, I don't know. Maybe he sees something that I don't see. Generally, I mean, I'm really only seeing possibility of like 2 things. I mean, one thing, this guy can attack this now, which is going to be okay. This can attack this now. Maybe this and this going in here. Maybe possibly doing enough damage to like double tap it, but highly doubtful. Highly doubtful, folks. But there is definitely some attacks that can happen in the center, but there's not really anything over here that can be done. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the point of the beatdown is, but with 2 minutes on the clock, the only thing that's really getting beat down right now is Father Time. So we'll see how Not Your Next Opponent does with this attack. Alright, so he goes for the Neo attack with the artillery. So not too shabby. Goes in for a fat Neo tank strike and uses the 2 HP classiest unit in Advanced Wars to take out the Neo tank. Yep. Yep. That's nice. That is a nice attack. And then strikes down the middle with the bombers. So maybe the whole thing was just to get the extra firepower from the planes in the middle. Definitely a couple attacks that were possible there. So, you know, all things considered, wasn't too shabby. Wasn't too shabby at all at that point. Puts Not Your Next Opponent in a position where he's going to be able to take control of the center of the map here. zootriot pops prime tactics. The primiest tactics of all, folks. And he is going in. Alright. You know, this man right now, I know what this man is thinking, and he can taste it. He's saying, ooh, it would sure be nice if I cap that HQ right now. That's what he's thinking, folks. We all know it. He still hasn't capped his airport, though, so hasn't even been able to deploy a single air unit this entire game. Day 16. Not Your Next Opponent. Continuing the assault with these bombers in the center of the map is going to be able to take control of the center here. In all reality, he really needs to... Okay, that is smelly. There is some stench up north towards Red's HQ right now. Not really gonna be able to take that out anytime soon, so might be a little difficult. If you do, oh, you know, maybe no, he's not gonna get it because the Neo tanks can simply one-shot the anti-airs. It's not really going to be able to hold long-term here. But if he attacks the anti-airs, it is going to leave the Neo tanks vulnerable. I don't know. You know what? But something could happen here, folks. Something could happen. But all I know is the center is being bombarded here. Another infantry drops. Yeah, just uses the Oh, yeah. So it just uses the standard infantry in order to just clip the infantry enough to stop the capture here, folks. And another Sword Abomination. This is a smelly game. This is a smelly game, folks. Very smelly game. Definitely is going to be requiring some soap. Interesting tactics. There we go, folks. zootriot manages to find a move in order to destroy the Neo tank on the HQ and continues the capture of the airport. Now, this is going to put Not Your Next Opponent in a position where he's going to have to choose, but he's not really going to have to choose that much because there is a super co-power on the way, folks, and that is going to give him +2 movement, which gives him exactly enough in order to interrupt that capture. And here we go, folks. I think that's what we're going to be seeing. We're going to be seeing the interrupt. Yep, there it is. And there's another attack. Oh, right, folks. That's a plain boosted attack right now. Not your next opponent. Probably going to be able to bust out another Soiled Abomination up north. But what we are really hoping for is a flippin' classy boy. But it doesn't show up, folks. Just another Soiled Abomination. That is what we got here, folks. Zootriot in a position right now where he can pop the Prime Tactics. And he's going to pop the Prime Tactics, folks. And is going to eliminate one Neo tank, almost eliminate a second Neo tank, so close, and then a Prime Tactics medium tank from the HQ. Oh my god, yeah, there we go, folks. That is what it's all about. And then a second attack. Oh yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Oh my god, this man, Zootriot. What an awesome super co-power right there, folks. What an awesome super co-power. It's now D19. Not your next opponent. Continues the assault. Down south. I don't know what the bombers are doing anymore, but the bombers have definitely all showed up. The bombers just showed up to the center of the island. Just blew everything up. And are now back to assault the HQ. And a mega tank has arrived, folks. Oh my god. It is mega tank time. And you know why somebody builds a mega tank, folks? It's so that you can go and sit that mega tank right on the HQ and have it never leave. Never leaves the HQ from that point, folks. Alright. Oh my god. Not your next opponent is going to be able to get such... Oh my god. This is going to be the Neo Slaughter here, folks. The new Neo Slaughter. It's going to happen. Attacks the anti-air. Oh my god, it doesn't even... None of them even... There's a battleship. Battleship Neo-Tank double infantry. Okay. Doesn't even go for the attacks on the Neos. Maybe they couldn't reach. I don't know. Going for the capture on the HQ. Oh, and there's the resign, folks. There's the resign. Zootriot. What an absolutely wonderful display, my friend. What a wonderful display. You fought so hard. So hard. You had the classy boys on the field. They eliminated the Neo tanks. What an absolute banger. Well played. Well played indeed. Not your next opponent is the winner here today, folks. Is the winner. He had the classy boys of the sky. He had air dominance. If Zootriot, maybe if he hadn't gone for the 2 drops in the center and went for the airport instead, this might have been a completely different game. Might have been a completely different game, folks. It's definitely possible. But we have ourselves a winner here today. So hopefully you all enjoyed that one. And if you did, folks, consider leaving a like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. I will see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. And bye-bye for now.